You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's JPA here. In today's video I'm going to be discussing Rangers' very important win over Motherwell at the weekend. If you're new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button, hit the like button as well, and we'll be on our way. Just before I get into the video actually, I apologise for it being so late. I had a couple of things on at the weekend. I was working quite a lot and had the chance to do it last night, but I was really tired and I thought I really didn't want to put a half-arsed video out there. I'd rather do it when I'm not as tired. So I apologise for that, guys, and we'll just get straight into this video. So the game finished, Rangers 3, Motherwell 1. Sounds like a fairly easy afternoon. It was anything but. Motherwell played what I can only describe as the most defensive game I've ever seen. They took an early lead. I'll go through the goals in a minute. I'll just kind of tell you how it went. They took an early lead. They scored a pretty poor goal from our perspective, and they just sat in for the rest of the game. And when I say sat in, I mean literally 2 banks of 5, 10 men behind the ball, could not get any space whatsoever, and that was our tactic to try and win the game. Fortunately for us, we thwarted that, got the equaliser, and then got a couple of goals after that as well to seal the win. Delighted with that. Obviously I'll talk about my wee thoughts about that after I've kind of talked about how the game went and stuff. I'll talk you through quickly some of the goals and then how things happened, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the actual game itself. Despite the fact that they scored within 6 minutes, we actually started the game reasonably well. Within the first couple of minutes, Jermaine Defoe had already had a couple of decent efforts saved. He was unlucky with a couple of them, and you just felt that it was a good start, and we were going to kick on. We were going to get the goal within a couple of minutes, and then we were going to be settled, and then we were going to go for it. That wasn't the case. We conceded a goal early on within 6 minutes. Cross comes in for the right hand side. Barisic doesn't close the space down, so they're allowed to get the cross in. It kind of just bounces right to the back post. Tav loses his man, and Chris Lang is in there at the back post to score 1-0. Very shock goal, to be honest, because they were never really in the game at that point. It was all about us, and they got that goal. Losing that goal early on was probably the worst thing that could have happened to us. Well, losing a goal at any time really against Motherwell would have been the worst thing that happened to us, because they completely shut up shop. I think if they had scored that in like the 81st minute or something, there was no way we were going to get anything from that game. But that's what they did. They got the goal and completely shut up shop. They sit in 10 men, not just behind the ball, but in the box. It was just impossible to get any space. They sat with 5. They had 3 in the middle of that, just in front of that, and then they had their 2 strikers sitting in the wing back position, trying to stop our wing backs from going up as well. So there was just literally no space to work in, and that was pretty much it for the entire first half. We couldn't get a sniff of goal. Doesn't matter how much possession we had, which was a lot of possession. We just couldn't really go anywhere with it, and it ended up 1-0 at half time. So it was a very frustrating first half, as I said, and Gerrard made changes straight away. Aribo came on for Kamara right at the start of the second half, sorry. And Aribo played a little bit better. No disrespect to Glenn Kamara, but Glenn Kamara's not somebody who's going to break lines and win things high up the pitch and stuff. He's obviously more of a ball winner. He has got good feet, I'm not saying that, but Aribo was able to kind of move. His movement was a lot better, and he's got tricky feet, as we all know, and he is the type of player who can just waltz through a defence, as we've seen against Braga last season. So I thought he was a positive change. Just after the hour mark, we made another positive change in Hadji coming on for Arfield. Arfield tried his best, but he couldn't really get into the game, couldn't get in behind the defence as he normally does, because there was just no way through. Even if he got through the defence, there was no way the ball's getting to him. It was just so congested in that area. So Hadji came on, and I thought he made a massive difference to the game. His movement, his trickery, his quick feet, his good passing, and he formed a really good partnership on the right hand side with James Tavernier. So we kept pushing and pushing, but we couldn't quite make the breakthrough. I think the main problem was we're throwing balls into the box and Jermaine Defoe's just too small, he's not going to get on the end of it. Give him a long ball over the top and he'll run all day and he'll catch it and he'll get in his tight spaces and stuff, but throwing the ball into the box is never going to work with Jermaine Defoe. So Gerrard made a very positive change, brought Cedric in on, and within 2 minutes we had scored. The ball comes in from the right hand side from Tav. It's towards Kent. Kent doesn't really do much with it, to be honest. He kind of turns his back on it a little bit, but then he sees the ball's there to be won, puts his foot at it, wins the ball, passes it into Kamal Roof, and Kamal Roof, very tidy turn and finish with his left foot beyond the keeper to make it 1-1, and that was the start of the comeback for us. I think that goal kind of took the confidence off of Motherwell, and they really didn't know what to do. They were pretty happy to stay at 1-1, to be honest, and they didn't really come out after that either. But once we got that goal, we started creating a number of chances as well. Kamal Roof had an effort that was just past the post with a header. Very unlucky, and that probably should have been a warning sign to Motherwell. They didn't heed the warning rather. And in the 82nd minute, just 8 minutes from time, we turned the game on its head. Brilliant corner in from Tav. Helander goes for it. It doesn't quite make contact with it, and it bounces off the turf and goes to the back post. Big Cedric it ends there with a big boy header right into the net. Fantastic finish, great movement, great awareness to be in that position, and that's what we relied on. We needed that height, and it was a perfect way to get in front. As soon as that goal went in, by the way, Motherwell absolutely panicked, because that was their game plan, to sit in and defend and get the draw or get the win. But as soon as we went ahead, their game plan was pretty much goose. They had made a couple of changes defensively, and they had to bring on a few attackers after that, which didn't really help them. They had a couple of bursts forward, but nothing really major. And then we started doing to them what they had done for the previous 70 minutes, which was waste time, run the clock down, slow things down. All the things that was frustrating us started to really frustrate them, and all of a sudden their manager had a problem with it then. Good shithousery from Alan McGregor, by the way, going down with cramp when he had literally done nothing the whole game. Thought that was fantastic. We played the ball into the corner. Itten, Aribo and Hadji in that corner were absolutely immense, and that's where our third goal came from. Hadji's got the ball, flicks it over the head, and it looks like it's just going to fizzle out. Cedric it in again, like he did a couple of weeks ago for Jermaine Defoe's goal in the Ross County game. Battles with the ball, wins possession, gets it back. Aribo latches onto it, drives into the box and finds Itten, who had made the run in. Itten goes to shoot, gets blocked. Aribo then sticks at his foot, plays it into Kamal Roof. Kamal Roof takes a neat little touch with his right foot, puts it on his left, and a very similar finish for the first goal into the back of the net, and that was it. 90 minutes up, and that's pretty much the game tied up at 3-1. In terms of man of the match, I'm going to go for Kamal Roof. I know Tav was in for a shout there as well, probably Hadji for his second half performance when he came on. Itten was really good. There was a number of good displays in there. I thought Davis played really well. Kamara before he went off was okay as well. Tav, Barisic on the other side, defensively none of them were good, but going forward they did try and create things. Ryan Kent was non-stop trying to create things and get things going. Jermaine Defoe was the same. So all throughout the team we had performances, and it was just a case of trying to break them down. Now for my thoughts on the game. Delighted with the win, of course. Not the easiest game, probably one of the most boring games you'll ever watch for the first 70 odd minutes. Not only delighted for the win for Rangers, it's a win against anti-football, if I'm honest. I thought their tactics were really poor, and listen, I understand they kind of go toe to toe with us. They come out and try and play against us, they're going to get hammered. They done it last season when we put 7 past them at Ibrox, and I understand that, but they're sitting back and having a low block, and there's that. I mean, a couple of weeks ago we lost to St Mirren, unfortunately, but at least they had the decency to play a low block, and when they got the ball they did something with it. They were very positive going forward, and they tried to make things happen on the counter-attack. Motherwell just didn't do that. They didn't even try and lump it up looking for the striker to try and win second balls and stuff like that, like teams normally do at Ibrox. They just sat in. They were not interested whatsoever in winning this game. And I also know you have this counter argument, and I've actually heard this for Rangers fans as well. But we played that when we got to the UEFA Cup final under Walter Smith. We played defensive. We played a low block. We sat and defended, but as soon as we got the ball, we did try and be positive. We went forward. We created opportunities. We hit them on the break. That's a game plan. I didn't mind that. But Motherwell, they weren't trying to win the game or anything like that. They weren't trying to play football. They were just simply defend, defend, defend. Nothing else matters. Just clear it away, boot it away. Doesn't matter as long as it doesn't go on the goal. And I do understand they need to play a certain way to get points off us. But I thought that was just a little bit too negative, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but it was really, really frustrating to watch. So I'm going to wrap the video up quickly, guys. Just before I go, delighted to be 16 points in front. Obviously that probably becomes 7 once they play their games in hand. But it's a good lead to have. Obviously the league isn't over. Let's stop saying that as fans and just get behind the team, play game by game. We've got a couple of really tough fixtures coming up. Starting at St Johnstone in midweek. Now you might think St Johnstone, fairly easy tie. They just drew with Celtic right enough. I know Celtic aren't playing particularly well right now, but they did just get a draw at Celtic Park, which can't be sniffed at. We really have to look at that. And obviously I'll go into more depth about that tomorrow in my prediction video for that game. Just maybe try and keep a lid on it, guys, just for now. I didn't want to be shouting for the rooftops that we're winning 55 and then look silly with egg on our face when it doesn't quite happen, or if it doesn't quite happen rather. So yeah, remain positive, but it's not over yet, guys, so please just kind of keep a lid on it just now, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.